Welcome, sweet friends. It's Ashley Clark with Earthkeeper Yoga. I'm here in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm thrilled to be back with you after spending a week in the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas, furthering my studies in yoga. And I'm so excited to bring you new and innovative ideas and practices that help us get more into our bodies to find the healing and the potential within each and every one of us. So, as we practice today, this class is called Seeing with New Eyes. It was inspired by the idea of that quote that goes something like, "Be kind to one another because you never know what someone else is going through." So, this class is just an opportunity to introspectively see ourselves with new eyes, as well as refresh our spirits so that when we look out at others in our homes, in our communities, in our places of business, wherever it is that we go, that we can see with new eyes. So you won't need any props for this class except maybe a blanket or a beach towel just to put under your knees if that helps you in terms of having your knees on your mat. But you can grab whatever would make you feel more comfortable in your practice, and we'll meet together right here. As you come into this comfortable seat with your eyes closed or near the floor, just go ahead and start to notice your physical surroundings. So any noises, the way the air feels on your skin. Places of tension and ease within your body, within your mind. And go ahead and bring some awareness to your breath. And then once you make that connection to your breath, just go ahead and let those breaths deepen just a bit. We'll give ourselves 3 more breaths right here. You can go ahead and bring your chin down towards your chest and see if you can bring the shoulder blades closer together, just opening a little bit through the heart. Reconnect to the breath. Go ahead and take the hands out of your lap and let them come on either side of your hips. Keep the chin down towards the chest, eyes closed. We're going to do this next little series for 3 or 4 breaths, 3 or 4 rounds. And what we'll do is we'll inhale to lift the arms over the head, but we'll keep the eyes closed until we look up towards the ceiling. So here we go. Nice big inhale, lifting the arms and the head up towards the sky, and then just let the eyes open once you look up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it all back down. We'll do that 3 more times. Last one. Take an inhale, send the gaze and the arms up over the head, shoulders relax down. And then we'll take this right hand over to the left knee. Slowly let those left fingertips reach over to the right. We're cold here, so just give yourself a little bit of space to be gentle with yourself and ease any tension that just showed up in the neck and the jaw. Inhale, straighten through the spine. Bring this right arm back up towards the sky. Send the gaze back up. And then exhale this left palm down to the right knee, right fingertips over to the left. Relax through the face. Inhale, gaze and hands back up over the head. And then exhale, bring the hands forward. You can just bring them to the floor. We're going to make our way into table. So as we move into this table, before we move through cat-cow, make sure that you've got some spinal extension there. So you're reaching the crown of the head away, really thinking about lengthening through the spine. Let's take an inhale together, reaching crown and tailbone up. And then exhale, letting it all round in. And give yourself a few more rounds. Deep breath. Give yourself one more round and then we'll meet in that tabletop. Long spine. Go ahead and curl your toes. Take a fresh breath. And then as you exhale, lift your hips. Down dog. So as always, just staying connected to the breath. Using that as you pedal through the feet. And we'll take 3 more breaths right here. Last one. And we can make a slow walk up to the top of the mat. Big bend in the knees. Really let those that torso roll over your thighs, releasing through the low back. Head hangs heavy. We'll take an inhale, halfway, long spine. And exhale, slowly releasing back towards the mat. Inhale, down low. And then exhale, slow rise. And we'll meet with the hands down by the hips. But just like we did in that seated position, open through the heart, bringing the shoulder blades together. Check that connection to your feet, softness through the knees, length through the spine. And one more breath just right here. And bring the chin back down towards the chest. We'll do that same flow from standing that we did from seated. So keep your eyes closed. Take an inhale. Start to lift the head and the arms up over towards the sky, and then open the eyes once you reach up with that gaze. And then exhale, chin down towards the chest, palms down towards the hips. Do that 3 more times. And keep the chin down towards the chest, palms next to the hips. Take a breath. And then exhale to roll your head back up towards the front, towards me. And then inhale, lift the arms up over the head. Turn the palms away from you and reach, reach, reach. They can either come to clasp at the low back, or you can just send the fingertips towards the floor. Open through the heart. Lift the chin. Breathe here, 2 breaths. Bring the gaze back forward, and then put a bend in the knees, as big or as small as feels good in your body. Keep those hands together. If it doesn't work, that's fine. Just release them. Keep them behind you. Shoulder blades close together. Take an inhale, and then exhale. We'll fold forward. Torso comes back on top of those thighs. Hands come away only to a point that feels okay. Releasing the head and the shoulders. One more breath. Release the hands down towards your hips, and then you can unclasp and let the hands come to the floor in front of you. Here's an opportunity to bring in a side-to-side sway, staying connected to the breath. Two more. And bring those palms to the mat. Go ahead and step the feet back. We'll meet back in our down dog. We'll take 5 breaths here. Last one. You can bend your knees, press into the balls of your feet. Let's move into a plank. Shoulders over wrists, long spine. Inhale. And then as you exhale, keep those elbows in towards the ribs, and then lower all the way down. So once you come down towards the mat, you're going to extend this left arm long above your head, and you're going to send your right arm out into a half T to the right. That left cheek can come down to the mat if it feels okay. Take a breath here. Release through the back body. And then we'll lift this right knee over to the right, just to a place that feels okay. One more breath. Reach that right arm up so that it's up near your left arm. You can lift the head, and then we're going to walk with our hands, pressing the palms into the floor to bring elbows under shoulders. Pressing the elbows into the floor. You can lift the chin if it feels okay, just deepening that stretch through the back low body. Bring the gaze back forward. Curl the toes on your left foot and press up, and then bring that right knee under the right hip. Come up to your hands and then lift this left leg behind you, keeping the hips even. Flex that left foot. Long spine. Lower the toes, and then you're going to do that half circle where they come over behind that right foot. Keep the spine long. Take an inhale. And then exhale, look back towards those left toes. One more breath. Circle that left foot behind you, and then bring the knee under the hip. Walk your hands forward, and we'll move into puppy. So take an inhale, and then exhale to lower the chest down towards the mat. Maybe the brow comes to the mat. You can tuck the tailbone here to feel a deeper stretch through the low back. Inhale, press into the hands to lift the upper body, and then we'll send the pelvis towards the floor and then lower right back down all the way to the mat. This time we'll send the right arm long above, and the left arm comes into the T. Right cheek comes down to the mat. Breathing in and out, releasing through the back body. Go ahead and lift that left knee up towards the left hip. If it doesn't make it all the way up, that's fine. Continue here, 2 more breaths. And then reach that left hand up towards that right hand. And we'll start to use our palms to press in to bring elbows under shoulders, just like we did on the other side. Pressing the elbows into the mat as you lift the gaze up just a bit. Trying to keep the glutes and everything in the low back body nice and loose. Curl those right toes, press in to come up, and then bring that left knee under the left hip. Move up to hands under shoulders. And when you get there, lift this right leg behind you, keeping the hips even, square, and that right foot flexed. Drop the right toes down towards the mat, and then let them circle over outside of that left foot, long spine. Inhale. And as you exhale, send the gaze back towards those right toes. Last breath. Circle that right foot back behind you, and then bring the knee under the right hip. Take an inhale, curl toes, lift hips, down dog. Pedaling through here if it feels good. We'll take 3 more breaths right here. Inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. You can point the toes. And then exhale, bring knee to nose. Step this left foot through. Once you get that left foot through, go ahead and lower this right knee down to the mat. Right top of the foot comes down to the mat. Inhale, press into that left foot, and we'll bring the hands up over the head. Reset that knee if you need to, or not the knee, but the ankle. And press that right knee into the floor, engaging through your pelvis and the core muscles to stay strong through the core. One more breath. Bring your hands down in front of your heart. Bring the shoulder blades together to open through the chest. We're going to curl toes here and see if we can lift up into a crescent pose. And then inhale to lift the arms back up over the head. Gaze follows only if it feels okay. Two more breaths. Inhale, and then exhale to bring the hands down towards the mat. Keep all the weight in that left leg. See if you can bring this right leg up towards the sky for a standing splits. You might even take the opportunity here to circle that right ankle. Point and flex the foot. And go ahead and lower that right leg back. Find that low lunge. Press your hands into the mat. Make your way back into down dog. And stay with the breath. Inhale, we'll lift that right leg up. And then bring knee to nose. Step that right foot through. Once you get there, lower that left knee down to the mat. Press into that right foot. Lift the arms up over the head. Kneeling crescent. You can send the gaze up if it feels okay. Press that left foot into the mat. Engage through your center. Inhale. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Curl your left toes. See if you can come into that regular crescent. And then we'll reach the arms back up over the head. Send the gaze up if it feels okay. Last breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, lower the hands down towards the floor. Weight in that right leg. See if you can lift that left leg up towards the sky for standing splits. Right knee not locked. Head relaxes. Last breath. Lower that left foot down. We'll meet in a forward fold. Bend in the knees. Let's take an inhale, halfway long spine. And then exhale to release towards the floor. Inhale down low. And then exhale, slow rise. We'll meet just like we did before with palms forward, shoulder blades coming together, checking in with your feet connected to the mat. Let's take 2 breaths right here. Inhale, lift the arms and the gaze up towards the sky. Turn those palms away. We're going to reach right back and find the hands together or fingertips pointing towards the floor, whichever is more comfortable in your body. Bend those knees, take an inhale, and then exhale to forward fold. Palms can leave the hips, go up towards the shoulders. And stay with the breath. Lower the hands down towards the hips and then release them down towards the mat. You can make your way back into down dog. Go ahead and bend those knees, press into the balls of the feet. We'll move into a plank, long spine. Last breath. Lower your knees down towards the mat, tops of the feet come to the mat, and then let the pelvis move down towards the mat. We'll come into up dog this way. Start to lift the hips, send them back up towards the sky, and let's move into puppy. So fresh breath, and then exhale to lower the heart down towards the mat. Curling the tailbone helps get into that low back. One more breath. Inhale, press into the hands to lift the upper body and reset those hands under the under the shoulders. Sorry about that. And then we'll curl toes, lift hips, down dog. Take an inhale, lift this left leg up towards the sky. And then exhale, knee to nose, step that left foot through. Once you get into this low lunge, bring that right heel in towards center, setting up for warrior 2 legs. We'll take an inhale, windmill up, and make your way into warrior 2. Gaze over the middle finger of the front hand. Shoulder blades still trying to come together to keep the heart open. One more breath. Turn your palms up. Take an inhale. Straighten through that left leg. Bring the fingertips and the gaze up towards the sky. And then circle on that left heel to bring your toes towards the long edge of the mat. Soften through the knees. Turn the palms towards the outside and then reach back behind you, clasping the hands near the sacrum. Bend in the knees. Take an inhale. And then exhale to forward fold. Hands come away from the hips. And one more breath. Lower the hands down towards the hips, and then they release and come to the floor. Hold in this forward fold, just one more breath. Big bend in the knees, inhale here. And exhale, slowly come back up. We'll meet with the arms in a T. Send those left toes back towards the front of the mat. Let's move back in to warrior two. Lunging into that front leg. Left elbow comes down to that left knee, nice and strong. Reaching those right fingertips over to the left, finding your side angle. Gaze up towards the sky if it feels okay. Inhale back to warrior two. Take 2 more breaths right here. Go ahead and windmill your hands down, and we'll meet back in down dog. Give yourself a nice big deep inhale and exhale through the nose. Here we go. Inhaling that right leg up towards the sky. And then exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Once you get into that low lunge, turn that left heel in towards center, opening through the hips. And then we'll inhale, making our way into warrior two. Shoulder blades together, heart open. Turn those palms up. Inhale, straightening through that right leg, reaching the gaze and the arms up, and then spinning on that right heel to come to the long edge of your mat. Turn the palms away, reaching behind you, and then softening through the knees. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come away from the hips. Release the hands down towards the hips and then down to the floor. And keep a bend in the knees. Let's walk that left hand over inside of the right foot, lunging more into that right leg. Inhaling, right arm up towards the sky. Gaze follows towards that right thumb. Last breath. Lower the right hand. We'll walk over, letting that right hand come inside of that left foot. Inhale, lift the left arm up towards the sky. Gaze towards that left thumb. Last one. Left hand lowers. We'll meet back in a wide leg forward fold. Bend in the knees. Fresh breath. And exhale, slowly coming up. Meeting with those arms back in a T. And then we'll send those right toes back towards the front of your mat. Here we are in warrior two. Right elbow down to that right thigh. Left fingertips reaching over to the right. Gaze up towards the sky if it's all right in your body. Strong through that right arm. One more breath. Inhale. Let's come back to Warrior Two. This is 3 breaths. Go ahead and windmill the hands down. Make your way back into down dog. Give yourself a nice big inhale and exhale here. Last breath. And bend the knees, press into the balls of the feet. Let's move into plank or kneeling plank. Long spine. You can move back into up dog in the way we did it last round, or you can take an inhale with me here, moving through your chaturanga and into up dog. Releasing the hips down towards the mat. Wherever you are, let the knees come to the mat. Send the hips back just a bit. Send those arms long towards the front of the mat. Take a fresh breath. And we'll exhale back into that puppy. Last breath. Inhale, press into the palms, and then walk those palms back under the wrists. We'll curl toes, lift hips, down dog. One more breath. Let's walk to the top of the mat and meet in a forward fold. Take an inhale halfway, long spine. And then exhale, release down towards the mat. Inhale down low. And then exhale, slow rise, coming up in a way that serves. Settle the feet into the mat. Bring the shoulder blades together. Soften through the knees. 2 breaths. Take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up towards the sky, and then put a bend in the knees. So we're not moving into chair, but you've got a significant bend in the knees. Take an inhale, and then send the arms in a big circle behind you. And then as you bring the arms back up over the head, extend the legs straight. So bend the knees, give that 3 more times, circling back and bending the knees. Inhaling, straightening through the body. Two more. Now, after you complete that last round, we'll meet with the hands up over the head. Gaze follows. Fresh breath. Bring those palms together down in front of the heart. Bow chin to chest. 2 breaths. Inhale to lift the gaze back towards me. So our balance pose for the day is eagle. So we've got hands at the heart. Let's go ahead and find that soft gaze just a little bit in front, finding drishti. And then we'll take an inhale and move body weight over to that left leg. Go ahead and press the foot into the floor, ripple your strength up to the crown of your head, and then we'll lift this right knee. You can cross it over. If toes tuck behind the leg, great. If they don't, that's also okay. And then go ahead and just sink into your legs. You can bring the arms out into a T and stay right here, or you can bring that right elbow underneath the left one and find a gaze through the back of your forearms. Open the arms into the T, and then back into prayer. Start to press into that left foot, lifting this right knee up towards the navel, and then lower it down towards the mat. 2 breaths here just to reset. Take a breath. We have a tendency to hold our breath in balance poses. So we'll come back to stillness. And we'll take an inhale and move that body weight over to the right side. Once you feel nice and stable, lift this left knee up towards the navel and then cross it over the right. Find the legs first, bending the knee just a bit. And the arms come into the T. This time left elbow goes underneath right. Gaze through the forearms. Open the arms into the T, and then back into prayer. Pressing into the right foot, lifting that left knee, bringing the left foot down. Give yourself a breath. We'll inhale to lift the arms and the gaze up, and then exhale, forward fold. And go ahead and step your feet back. We'll move into down dog. 2 more breaths right here. Bend those knees, bring them down to the mat. And then we'll swing those feet over to one side so that we can come to a seat. We're actually going to move from seated onto our backs with the knees up towards the sky. I'm going to give you just a couple of breaths here to release fully into the mat. Reconnect with the breath. Release where you can. And then we're going to take this right foot and we're going to put it where it's in line with your navel, so it's more in the center of the mat. Take an inhale, lift this left leg up towards the sky. Those arms can be in a T or whatever feels good here, but you will need to move your hips to either side, so T is probably the best way to go. And then slowly cross that left leg over the right. So you basically have eagle legs, but on your back. Take an inhale, and then exhale, let those knees fall over to the right. If this doesn't work, just stack the knees. We'll spend 4 or 5 breaths right here. Last one. Slowly lift the legs back up towards the sky. Let both sides of the tailbone and the hips make their way back into connection with the mat. And then lift that left leg back up towards the sky and then lower the foot down. Left foot replaces right in the center of your mat, inhaling that right leg up towards the sky. Cross that right leg over, fresh inhale, and then exhale to let the knees fall over to the left. Again, stacking the knees if that works better in your body. Releasing here for 5 breaths. Last one. Bring the knees back up towards the sky and then uncross that right leg. This time, as your right foot comes down, let it touch the inside of the left foot. And then slowly open the knees to either side so that the outside edges of your feet are on the mat. Take your arms and bring them palms face down on either side of your hips. So we're about to lift into this different variation of bridge. If this doesn't work in your body, just have both soles of the feet on the mat. We'll take an inhale and then exhale, press into the outer edges of your feet to lift through the hips. Let's breathe here 3 breaths. Inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down. You can bring the knees up into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Rock side to side, releasing anything that may have shown up in your back body. And go ahead and incorporate those 6 or 7 breaths that are just for you, just for whatever it is that I didn't offer that your body would appreciate right now. And then go ahead and slowly make your way into whatever Shavasana may look like for you today. When you find where you want to be, give yourself another one of those nice big deep inhales and exhales through the nose. And rest. Slowly start to bring some awareness back into this space that we have created together. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. And reach your arms up over your head. Give yourself a full body stretch, pointing the toes. And then roll over on to one side or the other. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Shoulder blades come apart. Give yourself a big hug, honoring the work that you've done for yourself today. And then you can meet me back in a comfortable seat whenever you're ready. We'll meet with hands at the heart, chin down towards chest. So it's one of my favorites. It's from Ram Dass, and it says, when you go out into the woods and you look at trees, you see all these different trees. And some of them are bent, and some of them are straight, and some of them are evergreens, and some of them are whatever. And you look at the tree and you allow it. You see why it is the way it is. You sort of understand that it didn't get enough light and so it turned that way. And you don't get all emotional about it. You just allow it. You appreciate the tree. The minute you get near humans, you lose all of that. And you are constantly saying, you're to this, or I'm to that. That judging mind comes in. And so I practice turning people into trees, which means that I get to appreciate them just the way they are. May we see each other with new eyes and less judgment. May we know kindness and be kind. And until we meet together again, gratitude for practicing with me. Namaste.